Hello, this is the second video that I am making for the Astronomy 100 class. This video is a walk through your Leo classroom. All UMUC courses come with a companion Leo classroom, and we will make heavy use of that classroom in this particular astronomy course. Even though we do meet 2 times a week face-to-face, the strong element of our course is comprised in the Leo website. Again, my name is Tom Ewing, and this is the second of 2 introductory lectures. The first one, which was a hello and welcome one, has already been posted on Leo, and it's already been sent to you individually, and you should view that one before you view this one. So let's get started on walking through the companion Leo website that accompanies your Astronomy 100 UMUC course. First, how to get there. The simplest way to get there is to go to your web browser, and in the URL box type in the address of the Leo website, which is learn.umuc.edu. And this will take you directly there in one step. There are other ways to get there, such as through the page My UMUC, and if you already have a very comfortable way to get there, then just keep doing that. But those other ways usually require more than one step, and this is the one-step way to get there. Note very carefully that there is not a www in front of this URL, and if you put one there, it will not work because this is not a public website. So let's start going there. To minimize this, and we will go up to our web browser, and then we will type in the learn.umuc.edu, and then, if necessary, then we will do a little click and navigate to Learn UMUC. Actually, that one didn't take. I'll try one more time. Oh, we got there. Okay, now the first thing you have to do is sign on with your account name and password. As a UMUC student, you do have an account name and password, even though you might not know it, because you've never gone to Leo before. In this case, go directly down to your UMUC field office and find out what your username and password are. In some cases, your password has not been used for 6 months, so it's expired, in which case you simply have to renew it. So I will sign on with my username and password. And what will come up on the Leo website homepage is, besides the homepage, is a select a course option in the upper left-hand corner, from which you can select the various courses that you're registered for Leo. And I had it there. Okay. Now the one that we want to use is Astronomy 100 A361. If you happen to be in Yokosuka, then you might think that your home web page is S361. That's not really true. We don't make any use of the S361 page at all. Even if you're in Yokosuka, you will use the A361 page. And if you go there, you will find that you are rostered to that page. And there will be no information, assignments, or videos, or anything of any kind put out on S361. So once again, everybody is directed to the A361 Astronomy 100 webpage. When you get there, the most important part of the home page there is called the news section. Here is where I will be posting announcements in the course. Now, as this is primarily a face-to-face course, then there will not be many announcements from me. Since we meet twice a week, there will be ample opportunity to make most of my announcements during class times. But occasionally there will be an announcement that I do make on the news, and in that case, this is where you go to find it. Now, what I've done already is I've preloaded some videos that would be interesting for you to look at. This news section is in reverse date order. The oldest ones are at the bottom, so if we scroll down to the bottom, then we will find that there are still more news items to look at. So you always click on this Show All News Items, and it will show all the news items back to day 1 of the course. And if we scroll down, we will see that the very first one that I entered was a welcome aboard, hello, this is my ID picture. And then here are some universities that I went to myself. Yes, I was a student at one time, and that brings me to the point of reminding you that you and I are natural enemies, in the sense that my goal is that you can learn as much as possible in this course, irrespective of the grade that you get. And your goal is that you get the highest possible grade in here, irrespective of how much you learn. So I'm aware of this as a student myself. I know how important that GPA is. However, my goal in this class right now is that you learn as much as possible. The more you learn, the more satisfied I am. So that is where I put my emphasis. So as long as we understand that we have different goals and we respect each other's goals, as I do yours, then we will get along fine. So also you would perhaps respect mine, that I am primarily interested in that the maximum amount of learning takes place in this course as possible. Going up, I find a very interesting introductory video, which is called Powers of 10. The picture isn't showing here, but this is a fascinating video, and it's one you want to begin watching. And then we go up into the topics of our first week. In the first week, we'll dwell on 2 topics. Chapter 1 of our text, which is called Local Astronomy. It has to do with the astronomy of the night sky as we see it. It has to do with the phases of the moon. It has to do with eclipses. It has to do with the seasons and the constellations that are in the sky and a few of our local stars. So it constitutes what we call local astronomy. Chapter 5 constitutes the various types of telescopes that astronomers use to gather this kind of data. And there are basically 2 types of telescopes: a refractor, reflector, and then the compound, which makes use of both parts. So this is an introductory video for some Chapter 5 material on telescopes. Here is an introductory video on solar and lunar eclipses, and one more on the types of telescope mirror that you can have, or parabolic mirror. And the next video that I'd like you to look at is why does the moon change shape? In other words, why are the various phases of the moon taking place? The full moon, the half moon, and the crescent moons. And indeed, we have 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. And here at Misawa Air Base, we joke that sometimes we have all 4 in the same day. And more about eclipses, and more about eclipses also there. And next what we have is 2 videos that I put together. The first is on local astronomy, and the second is on why telescopes work. So these are also assigned videos for you to view. And finally, this is a video that I made in the comfort of my own bathroom with what is obviously a soccer ball, on why the moon has different phases. And these videos are typical of what we'll be doing every week between Sunday and Tuesday, and that is I will assign some videos for you to look at prior to Tuesday's class. These are not for you to look at after I present the lecture on Tuesday. They're for you to look at before the lecture begins. Also, there are some chapters in the book that we will cover every week. This week we will cover chapter 1 and 5, and once again, the assignment is that you read these chapters prior to the class. So when you come into Tuesday's class, whether it is live streaming at Yokosuka or local in real time in Misawa, then you will have viewed all of that week's required videos, and you will also have read the material. Then we will have the Tuesday class, in which I present this material and we iron out any fine points. So the Tuesday class is a supplement to your watching the videos and a supplement to your reading the text. It's not meant to be a replacement of it. It's where we put the icing on the cake and iron out the material that you didn't learn. So if you come into Tuesday's class not having read the text or not having viewed the videos, then you haven't done your part of the work. So this constitutes our introduction to the new section. So if we go back to the course home, then the gist of this course will be done in the navigation bar key called Content. We will not use assignments and discussions. If you go out to assignments and discussions, you will see some developmental material that I've put there that will only be confusing to you. So you don't want to go there at all. You want to go strictly to content. Now, just before I go to content, what I'm going to do is something that you cannot do, and that is I'm going to change the viewpoint from the viewpoint of the website that I have as an instructor, in which I see all of my developmental modules, to the one that you have as a student, in which you see only the modules that I have perfected and released for you to use. So now I'm in the learner viewpoint, so this is what you will see. When we go to content, the first content that I want to have you make note of is, first I do have a little bit of cleaning up to do. Obviously, some of these are here in two places, and there's no need for them to be in two places. They're replicas of each other, so you can go to either one you want. The first one is called the Student Cafe, and the Student Cafe is a location where you can come and you can ask your classmates to help you with any particular problem on the homework that you're having stuck on. So you post a note out here on, we call it start a thread. You start a thread in the Student Cafe, and one of your classmates comes to your rescue and shows you how to work the problem. Or you just want to talk about anything at all, life, divorce, philosophy, God, death, or you want to talk about your instructor or the class, or you just want to tell lies and tell stories to each other. Anything at all is free game in the Student Cafe, so you just go there and get to know your classmates and exchange. The second important point is the syllabus. I'll come back to the syllabus in a moment. It contains information about where your grade is coming from, the class schedule, academic policies, and things of that sort. But the most important items in the content table of contents that we're going to be using, or the weekly modules. This one that we're going to be using first is week 0. That's the week prior to the course starts. So if you click on week 0, these are the things that you need to do before the course starts. You need to read the syllabus, that's important. You need to watch the Instructor Welcome and Introduction to Astronomy video that I sent out. You need to introduce yourself in this instructions, questions, and comments location, and you need to acquire your textbook. This textbook will be used very, very strongly in this course, and it's imperative that you get your textbook, and you're in deep snow until you do get it, even during week 1. So make sure that you get it quickly. Then the fifth thing that you have to do is learn to navigate throughout your Leo website, which is what we're focusing on right now. Also, in the introductions, questions, and comments is a location where you can actually write questions and you can make comments about the course as well. Let's go to week 1, which is the material for the first week. Now, our weeks run from Sunday to Sunday. Actually, no, our weeks will run from Friday to Friday. So this first week, it will begin when the course starts, and it will close out on Friday. On Tuesday, we will do a supplemental class where we go over the material that you've read in the text, and where we have looked at the videos that have already been assigned for you, required videos for you to look at, and we will supplement that with some lecture presentations by myself. I will do some example problems, and then you will wait and do all of your homework assignments between Tuesday and Friday. When we come in on our Friday class, there will be no lecturing done by myself. What we will do is go over the homework problems that were assigned to you. We will put them here on the whiteboards, both in Masawa and on the whiteboards in Yokosuka, and students will share their solutions and make sure that you know how to do all of those assigned problems. If you're stuck on any of those homework problems, then I will do them for everybody on the front board. So at the end of that homework part of our Friday class, everybody knows how to do all of the problems. And that's important because for the second half of our Friday class, we're going to take our weekly test. There will be a test every Friday. And every test question will come from the homework problems. So the way to score high in the test is to be able to do all the homework problems. That's why between Tuesday and Friday, you want to be really sure that you know how to do all of the homework problems, and when you come in on Friday, you just iron out any last little wrinkles that you have on how to do them all correctly, and then when the test starts, then you find that you cut right through the problems because every one of them is old news to you. You're very familiar with them. As well as assigning certain types of written problems, certain multiple choice problems. They're all from your textbook. Certain numerical problems, we will assign a minimum of numerical problems. This is not a math-orientated course. It's a concept-orientated course. Then at the end of each chapter, there are some key terms, some phrases that you need to understand the meaning of. So you're asked to memorize these, and some of those will actually be chosen to also be on the weekly Friday test. So, and then when Friday is done, that week is over. So what I want you to do on Friday night is when you leave the class, I want you to start the next week's material. It will already be posted on Leo for you. I want you to start reading the new chapters, and I want you to start looking at the new videos, selecting your own video, critiquing a classmate's video, etc. So that for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, what you're doing is the bulk of the next week's work. It's intentional that way. It's over the weekend. That's when you should do it. Don't make the mistake of relaxing over the weekend. Then you've got it all crunched up in front of you for Monday to get it all ready for Tuesday night, which is too much. This is an elective course. It's not a highly demanding course, but it is intensive. So that you can learn a lot, we will cover a lot of ground. And even though most of it's conceptual, it will take a lot of time for you to read the pages and for you to watch the videos. That's where the learning comes from. It's not a mathematically orientated course, as it could be. It's a conceptually orientated course. But it takes time for you to reflect on these concepts, to let them sink in, and to sleep on them, as we say. So you do want to start early. Each week, Saturday morning, Friday night, start the new week's work. And the new week's work will consist as follows. Let's go to week 1 to take a look at it. First, it has a submodule called Week 1 Leo Participation. Now, every week you have to participate in your Leo website in the following 3 ways so that you can get the points for having done your Leo participation for that week. The first is that you have to view the list of videos that I have selected on the topics for that week for you to learn. It's easy to learn astronomy from a person, much more so than from a book. So I have selected these YouTube videos by very good instructors for you to look at their material and to see the material presented by a human being instead of also just reading it from a text. And the second thing that you have to do for each week's Leo participation points is you have to select a YouTube video of your own. The way that you do this is that you go to youtube.com and you type in the search box one of the topics for this week. And then you click on search and it will give you a list of some dozen or several hundred videos on that topic, and you select one that's especially instructive to you and you post it for your classmates to also learn from it. And your goal in this is to educate your classmates. So you want to select a video that's very educational for them as well as having been educational for you. The way that you present this to your classmates is you copy the URL of the video that you selected while you're watching it on YouTube from the URL box at the top of the YouTube screen, and you copy it and you paste it into the body of the new thread that you started. Then it will sit there as a link for your classmates to click on and go and view it yourself. But don't just put a bare link. Also put 2 or 3 sentences describing what they will see when they go to that video, so they can select a video of one topic that they really want to learn something about. So you will see a number of videos in this discussion selected by all of your classmates as well as yourself. Then when you go back to the week 1 Leo participation page, you see the third topic that you have to do every week is you have to critique a classmate's video. You select one of the videos that has been selected by your classmates and you watch it and you write a critique of it. and then you post this critique. And the place that you post this critique is the place that I'm going to look to find it. And if I don't find it there, then you can't get graded on it. So first I'll show you the place not to put it. If you want to select a video of your classmates in order to critique it, you have to go to select your own YouTube video, and you will see the links for all the videos that they have chosen. And then you will click on one and watch that video. And then you are tempted to write your critique simply by replying to the posted link that your student, classmate had put out there. If you put it there, I'll never find it, and you won't get any credit for it. It's not the right place to put it. The right place to put it is to go back to week 1, Leo participation, and to go to the topic called Critique of Classmates Selected Video. And this is the correct place to put your critique. And what you do is you start a new thread, and in the body you write the name of your classmate, and then you write your critique of his video, and then you will get credit on that. So the 3 topics that you have to do every week to get your Leo participation points between Saturday morning and Tuesday when you come to class is review all of the required videos that I have required you to view, 2, select a video of your own on that week's topic, and 3, critique a classmate's video. Then you will get your Leo participation points. And all 3 tasks are due by the start of class on Tuesday. So let's go back to week 1. And the week 1 module, again, has these sub-modules on it. The first one is the week 1 Leo participation, which we just went through, and the second is the week 1 homework. And this week 1 homework is what you will begin Tuesday after class and continue through until Friday when we meet again. Again, before the Tuesday class starts is the reading assignment. For this week 1, you read chapter 1 and chapter 5. And then these written problems are to be written out and brought into class on Friday. They'll be collected at the start of your test. And for this 1 week, first week, you write out the answers to questions for review at the end of chapter 1. Do the multiple choice test yourself at the end of chapter 1. Write the answers to question for review at the end of chapter 5, and do the multiple choice test yourself at the end of chapter 5. Bring these written answers to class and be prepared to put them on the whiteboards and discuss them for your classmates to learn from you and for you to learn from them, and everybody to have very good answers to take into the test. Then at the end of each chapter are some key terms. You'll be asked to memorize the key terms at the end of chapter 1 and at the end of chapter 5, and some subset of these key terms will be asked for you to put down from memory, again, on our weekly test. So every week there will be a week's homework that you will find in this location on the table of contents. So that is the important things that we need to show you about this Leo website that you have for yourself. And the next topic that we're going to look at is called Presentation 1, and I'm going to discuss that in our Tuesday class. So we'll wait until that class comes, and you can hear about it as we talk about it there. The last thing to talk about is the syllabus. So I'll click on the syllabus and it will come up. And as I scroll down the syllabus, first we find my email address, and this is where you send me emails for any questions that you have. Now, I really discourage you not coming to class, and I totally want to avoid you missing tests. This creates hassles, innumerable hassles, insurmountable hassles for yourself and myself. We want you to come to class, and we want you to take your tests during the week in which they're issued. We don't want late classes, we don't want late tests at all. So we do want attendance. You will need a scientific calculator in this class, and in this class are not permitted calculators on iPhones. Phones and tablets are not permitted during the class time. They've been heavily abused, so we outlaw them now. You must have an ordinary scientific calculator. And there are various things that you can or cannot do in the classroom, and we'll mention these again when Tuesday comes. But the thing that you really want to focus on now is where your grade is going to come from. Each week, if you do the 3 tasks that I mentioned, that you view the required videos, you select a video of your own, and you critique a classmate's video for that week, or you will get 2 points towards your final grade. That's 14 points for the 7 weeks that we do this. We don't have Leo participation during week 8. So those are very easy and painless things for you to do, and it's a good way for you to get the 14 points. You want to start doing this early and stay right on top of it, because we do have cutoff dates when you cannot go back and pick up those Leo points any longer. We will have you give 3 oral presentations. Each one will be 10 minutes long. I'll describe them more fully in our first class on Tuesday, and each one will be 7 points towards your final grade, 21 points in total. You can't learn if you're not here. So absence costs you points. You get 1 free absence. After that, you get docked 1 point for each absence that you have. If it's a excusable absence, like military or medical, I want to know about it, because we just don't want random absences to happen. Punctuality. We want you here at the start of class. You get 1 free late. After that, if you keep coming in late, you're going to get docked a point also. Professionalism. During the class, we want you to maintain your conduct always in a professional manner. Our 7 quizzes, the big part of your testing, in fact, the sole testing that we do in here, this course is intentionally not a cumulative course. Each week we will cover a topic in astronomy, and that topic doesn't bear that much on the topics of subsequent weeks. There's no need to have a cumulative final during week 8 in which you're asked to remember a lot of material that you don't need for week 8's material topic itself. So we instead have these 7 block tests. We study for a week, we test on it, then we don't test on that material again. And each one of those 7 tests is worth 7 points in your final grade. Finally, your homework, which is collected at the start of the test each week, your written out homework, is worth 10 points of your grade. It doesn't have to be typed. It can be free form. I don't check your answers for accuracy. I just check that whether they're done or not. The accuracy is of your own concern, because you will want to make sure that they're accurate so that you have a good copy in order to go into the test with. The tests, of course, are closed book and closed notes, so everything must be inside your head at the start of the test. That homework is worth 10 points, and that is the final 10 points of where your grade is coming from. So what we've done is walk through the Leo classroom, and what I want you to do is to go into the Leo classroom now, learn to navigate around, and then I want you to start looking at this week's videos. The final list for this week's videos will be put out there on Sunday, March 15th, by myself. So the list that is out there is not yet complete. So if you start looking at them now, you definitely want to check back on Sunday and make sure that you have looked at the complete list. Thank you very much.